One of Russia's national symbols might be facing extinction. Matryoshkas, the famous hand-painted nesting dolls, can be found in any Moscow souvenir shop. A mandatory purchase for visitors.
That's what everybody thinks of when they go to Russia, is these dolls.
They're both toys and works of art and can portray anything from sports teams,
the Seattle Seahawks,
to pop singers, to politicians. Although Matryoshkas seem to be everywhere you look, production has been in decline since the 1990s. Some even say that if the trend continues, their days could be numbered. The town of Sergiev Posad, just outside of Moscow, is famous for its woodworking and handicrafts. This toy and souvenir factory has been one of the largest producers of Matryoshkas since the dolls first appeared in Russia about 100 years ago. Alexander DOROFEYEV is one of only 2 woodworking masters still employed at the factory. He has been making Matryoshka dolls for 40 years, but says times have never been tougher. One after the other, most of the workshops making Matryoshkas have shut down. As the jobs disappear, Alexander says it's unlikely that he'll be able to pass on his skills and knowledge to the next generation. With fewer tourists visiting Russia this year, the demand for Matryoshkas has dropped. This past winter, the factory went months without an order. The Russian government recently announced $30 million in aid to the souvenir industry, but many doubt whether the plan will be carried out. There have been a lot of promises, but not much is being done, says the factory director. I don't think it's a high priority. He says that the factory's golden days were back in Soviet times, working at full capacity to fill regular orders from the government. But the Soviet system of central economic planning was also responsible for creating hundreds of single-factory towns, many of which are now on the verge of bankruptcy due to the world economic crisis. The souvenir industry makes up just a tiny fraction of Russia's economy, so it's probably not at the top of the agenda for the country's leaders. But since many people consider the Matryoshka doll the face of Russia itself, it's probably a face worth saving. Dave Grout, CBS News, Moscow.